Let's maul in the Central Committee. Let's cringe in the Central Committee. Let's bog in the Central Committee right now.
Let's get into politics, chat. Bolsonaro never worked in his life. He went to the army. He left there expelled. He spent 30 years as a deputy, and now he's in the presidency of the republic giving rise to a salary. Do you think I'm afraid of him? I was born on the street. My political life is on the street. Chat, can you imagine America having a candidate like this for president who could say, I was born on the street. My life is on the street? How jealous are you of Brazil right now? Now, obviously, they have Bolsonaro, who is a goddamn disaster. But this is fucking cool as shit. Move Lula to the US and fake his birth certificate 2024. Yeah, seriously. That's nothing. Lula once said about sanitation, we need to take the people out of the shit. Yeah, chat, look at this. Protesters take action against Bolsonaro and in favor of vaccine. Wow, dude. I actually feel really terrible for the people of Brazil because, goddamn, man. Bolsonaro killed so many people. One of the things that's really sad is that, like, fascism has been proven in real time to just be a total disaster. In every far-right country in the world, they are just getting destroyed by COVID. And it's just fucking sad. New Cory Bush tweet. Oh. When we say defund, we're talking about needing to divest from parts of our society that are harming and killing us and invest in the parts that keep us healthy and alive. We deserve life. That's a very fresh tweet. Very, very fresh tweet. You have to understand that in America, the commitment to racism is so damn deep that people are constantly living in fear of the other. And the idea that you would take care of black children as opposed to brutalizing black men, that's a controversial idea. That's a controversial idea. He's still employed by our city and on the payroll after being convicted of murder. We were trying to get a spotlight on this. Thank you for... What the fuck? Huntsville PD keeps murderer on the payroll. 3 weeks ago, a Madison County jury found Huntsville police officer William Darby guilty of murder. 3 weeks have passed since that verdict, and he's still an employee of the Huntsville Police Department. If it's difficult for you to make sense of that ugly fact, you're not alone. While there are not many workplaces outside of organized crime where an employee can kill a man on the job, be convicted of murder, and then get to keep that job indefinitely. I think you're onto something. But that's what's happening in Huntsville. It didn't start just 3 weeks ago. This has been going on for 3 years. 3 years ago, Huntsville police responded to a call from a suicidal man named Jeff Parker. 2 officers arrived at the scene before Darby. Parker sat on a bench holding a gun to his head. One of the officers calmly attempted to talk Parker out of doing something tragic. And then Darby rushed in and did the messy part for him. Darby shouted at the other officers to point their guns at Parker. He told Parker to put his gun down, and then he shot Parker in the face with a shotgun. Later, Darby would say he shot Parker after he saw the gun move. How someone is supposed to put down a gun without moving it is a riddle I can't solve. As with other police shootings, this one went before the city's Incident Review Board. The district attorney, city attorney, and Citizens Advisory Council have representatives on that board, but only the police department command staff make the final decisions. That board cleared Darby and the other officers. However, the 2 other officers, the ones who didn't shoot a man in the face, were assigned to remedial training! The guys who didn't shoot got disciplined! Later, both of the other officers left the department! So, if people are like, oh, it's just some bad apples, this is what actually happens in policing in America. If you're not a fascist or willing to look the other way, you quit! When the police department leadership saw nothing wrong with Darby's action, the Madison County District Attorney's Office disagreed. As did a grand jury that indicted Darby. As did the jury that convicted him. But every step of the way, the city has sided with Darby. The city council agreed to pay Darby's legal fees without first watching body cam footage of the shooting. What the fuck? The city's attorney office fought subpoenas to turn over evidence. After the verdict, Huntsville Mayor Tommy Battle said he disagreed with the jury, and Huntsville Police Chief Mark McMurray said he still believed Darby was not a murderer. At least other police officials could see what city officials could not. The Alabama Peace Officer Standard and Trainings Commission suspended Darby's certification, making it illegal for him to serve as a police officer. But instead of firing Darby because he can't legally do the job for which he was hired, the Huntsville Police Department put him on paid leave. Then last week, City Attorney Trey Riley said Darby was on accrued leave with pay, and that his administrative hearings had been indefinitely postponed. Just about everywhere else, if you kill a man, your boss isn't going to wait until you show up at the office again to fire you, but that's the city story, and it's refusing to say anything else. These elements of the city's personnel policies and procedures are mandated by federal law and uphold employee rights for which the city must abide. There is no employee rights that say you have to keep someone who was convicted of murder.
6 months.
Additional details as to an employee's leave status are also covered by federal privacy laws. No, they're not. Not one, but two former U.S. attorneys, one Republican, the other Democrat, called the city out. So just we have this straight, an officer convicted of murder is able to avoid termination, continue to be employed by Huntsville police, and paid by the city of Huntsville because he managed to change his leave status? The situation in Huntsville, Alabama, where an officer convicted of murder of a suicidal man who called for help is still employed by the PD is badly wrong, former U.S. Attorney Joyce Vance added. It will take a public spotlight to fix it. Apparently, a conviction wasn't enough. The Justice Department's Civil Rights Division needs to open an investigation to the Huntsville Police Department. Someone needs to exercise oversight here because city officials sure aren't doing it. Whether they know it, the mayor, council, police chief are sending a message to the city of the world. Of course they know it! And that is cops can kill whoever the fuck they want when they want. It's a message that emboldens everyone on the left who said defund the police. How do you argue your police department can't trim something from its budget when it keeps a killer on the payroll? It's a message that confirms that what everyone on the right has suspected about government. Oh, what the fuck is this both sides shit? What the fuck is this both sides shit? What sort of Alice in Wonderland world must you live in where a convicted murderer gets to stay on the job? This is why we're gonna fuck America. Fuck America. How do you convince the world you're the bright spot in Alabama when your real headlines read like something from The Onion? What a fucking rat, dude.
You see it in the politicians who are rushing to stake their claim with the MAGA hordes. People like Congressman Matt Gaetz, who are using increasingly openly violent rhetoric.
This is a little history lesson for all the fake news media. The Second Amendment is not about hunting. It's not about recreation. It's not about sports. The Second Amendment is about maintaining within the citizenry the ability to maintain an armed rebellion against the government if that becomes necessary.
That happened in Georgia last night.
That's actual literal sedition. Actual literal sedition. Meanwhile, Democrats defeated by 35 votes. Oh well. I guess we have to do bipartisanship. Okay, Joe Manchin. Man who loves bipartisanship, Joe Manchin. What were the reasons that the Republicans gave for voting against the commission? There are no reasons. That's Joe Manchin's own opinion. Joe Manchin's own opinion is the Republicans had no reasons for voting against the January 6th commission. None. And yet, even stating that they're completely irrational, that they had no reason, they have no nonpartisan reason for doing what they're doing, he still asked for bipartisanship. I wonder if he can only get his dick hard when he's doing bipartisanship. Because I don't understand why he's so addicted to it. I mean, we get it. Like, his corporate donors don't want anything to get passed because they want the Republicans to win. But, like, still.
By the way, as history, that's flatly untrue. Ask George Washington, who put down the Whiskey Rebellion.
Dude, is a pedo and the last living hobgoblin on the stage. You think they give a fuck about sedition? Well, I'm just pointing out that he was committing another crime.
Cool, with a bunch of people with guns taking on the government. Gaetz was followed on stage by Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was removed from her committee positions for previous racist, violent remarks.
So pedo and no committee Andy, and they are the most popular fucking Republican politicians. Isn't that amazing?
As Georgetown professor Thomas Zimmer points out, in our current situation, one reason Trump's lies can flourish and have such a massive effect is because they can build on long-standing anti-democratic tendencies and impulses on the American right and among conservatives. This is reflected in an incredibly worrying new study that found nearly...
There's a book called Democracy in Chains, came out right after Trump was elected, and it basically predicted all this. We're just continuing on the thing that's been obvious. It's by a Duke history professor called Democracy in Chains. The Deep History of the Radical Right Stealth Plan for America. Great book. And I think, like, one of the things about this is that it's a long-term historical trend. Is we've had this. And then we had what was known as the progressive movement, formed around a concept of trust busting. When we passed the Sherman Antitrust Act, we gave authority to the government to prevent concentrations of wealth and power. The government used to continually break up large corporations. We had labor movements. And through fits and starts, more and more workers got power. Then we built up the New Deal and a new contract with how America's citizens were to relate to their government, how the United States government had a responsibility for the physical, material well-being of the people. And capital didn't sit back. They have struck back. And now the Democratic Party is just as conservative as the party of the Republicans in 1975. I, honest to God, don't think you could distinguish between the Democrats of today and Republicans of 1975, except maybe some of the people that are the front groups. You know, you might not have had a black man fronting the Republican Party in 1975. But other than that, it's pretty much identical. We do politics here every morning starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. You can watch us here on Twitch. We're the morning guy, the morning politics guy, Politics Frogs, in every single day, same time, 10 a.m., day in, day out. And we carry you through your morning and early afternoon politics needs. And if you need more, Mike from PA, we have a YouTube channel. We talked about suburbs, the My Pillow guy, Ted Cruz. We talked about DSA. Amazing. Making fun of Tim Pool. Amazing. Look at all of these amazing videos. Get in there, watch them. We have me on Twitter. You got to follow me on Twitter, chat. I'm at 20,614 subs. That means I got like 40 followers on Twitter in the last day. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Go follow us on Twitter. And of course, join the Discord, where we have an incredible community of left-wing streamers. We have left-wing community. We talk about the stream. We talk about politics. There's gaming content. It's a really awesome, supportive place. Direct action, mutual aid. And you can just let off some steam. And also, you can help produce the show. One of the things I do is I look at the links that are put into the news content suggestions chat room on the Discord. Join the Discord, come hang out, and maybe what you want me to talk about will be part of the next show.